The lights dim, the crowd roars, and the atmosphere crackles with anticipation. Two legends, each a titan in their own right, are about to collide in a battle no one ever thought possible. One is the baddest man on the planet, a ferocious knockout artist whose fists have sent shockwaves through the world of boxing. The other is an unbreakable warrior, a trailblazer who redefined dominance inside the octagon before stepping into the electrifying world of WWE. Mike Tyson and Ronda Rousey, two names etched in combat sports history, are about to face off in a match that blurs the lines between raw power and relentless technique. But how did we get here? And more importantly, who will walk away victorious? Tyson, the former undisputed heavyweight champion, built his legacy on pure intimidation. The moment he stepped into the ring, opponents could feel the weight of his presence. His silence often spoke louder than words. His fists, like hammers, dismantled even the toughest challengers in seconds, making him one of the most feared fighters of all time. Even in retirement, his aura remains untouchable, and his name still sends chills down the spines of those who remember his dominance. On the other side, Rousey carved her own path through blood, sweat, and sheer determination. A judoka prodigy turned MMA superstar, she broke barriers in the UFC, becoming the first female champion and an unstoppable force in the bantamweight division. When she made the leap to WWE, many questioned if she could transition from real combat to scripted entertainment, but she quickly silenced the doubters. Her presence in the squared circle wasn't just about performance. It was a display of legitimate skill wrapped in the spectacle of sports entertainment. The WWE universe embraced her, and soon she became one of the most talked about figures in professional wrestling. But this is something different. This isn't just about championships, scripted rivalries, or entertainment. This is about pride, legacy, and the ultimate test of skill versus power. When word first spread about a potential showdown between Tyson and Rousey, fans around the world erupted into debates. Could Rousey's grappling prowess neutralize the raw punching power of Tyson? Would Tyson's unmatched aggression overwhelm Rousey before she could even attempt a takedown? These questions fueled endless speculation, and now they are about to be answered. Behind the scenes, tensions had been brewing long before the match was announced. A casual comment during an interview, a bold challenge thrown into the mix, and suddenly, the impossible was becoming reality. Tyson, never one to back down from a fight, saw it as an opportunity to remind the world why he was once the most feared man on the planet. Rousey, known for embracing challenges that others would shy away from, saw it as a chance to prove that skill, precision, and strategy could overcome brute force. The buildup was unlike anything seen before. Fans took sides, analysts broke down every possible scenario, and the sports world buzzed with excitement. WWE, known for its jaw-dropping spectacles, pulled out all the stops to make this a moment for the ages. Would it be a wrestling match with technical grappling and high-impact moves? Or would it spiral into an all-out brawl where only the toughest could stand tall? The rules were set, the stage was built, and the world prepared for what could be the most talked-about showdown in recent memory. Now, the moment is here. The cameras pan across the roaring crowd, signs waving, chants echoing through the arena. In one corner, Tyson stands with that unmistakable gaze, calm but dangerous, a predator waiting to strike. In the other, Rousey paces back and forth, eyes locked in, ready to unleash the relentless fury that made her a household name. The referee calls them to the center, the anticipation reaching its peak. And then the bell rings. A charged silence blankets the arena as the bell's echo fades into the deafening roar of the crowd. Every eye is locked onto the two figures in the ring, one a towering legend of boxing, the other a pioneer of mixed martial arts and professional wrestling. Mike Tyson takes a step forward, his body coiled like a spring, fists clenched with the raw power that once sent men crumbling to the canvas. Across from him, Ronda Rousey shifts her weight, her stance fluid yet calculated, eyes never breaking from Tyson's. She knows the danger before her. She studied his every movement, his every knockout, and now she's face to face with history's most feared striker. This isn't just about strength versus technique, speed versus power, or boxing versus wrestling. It's about pride. It's about proving that one's legacy is more than just past victories. It's about what they can do in the present moment. Tyson has nothing left to prove to the world, but for him, this fight isn't about the critics. It's about that fire inside, the one that never faded even after he stepped away from the ring. For Rousey, this is the ultimate challenge, the kind that defines a warrior. She's conquered judo, dominated MMA, and shaken up WWA, but standing across from Iron Mike is something different. The stakes aren't just high, they're historic. The crowd is on its feet as Tyson tests the waters. A quick shuffle, a measured step closer. Rousey doesn't flinch. She's used to pressure, to standing in the face of giants and making them fall. But Tyson is unlike any opponent she's faced. His hands, even at his age, are still a threat that demands respect. One mistake, one mistimed move, and it could be over in an instant. She's fought heavy hitters before, but none like him. Outside the ring, the anticipation is no less intense. The world watches, divided. Boxing purists scoff at the idea of a wrestler, even one with a decorated MMA background, standing a chance against the raw force of Tyson. Meanwhile, those who understand Rousey's ability argue that fights aren't won on power alone. Skill, strategy, and the ability to think two moves ahead have always been the weapons of the greatest fighters. And yet, no one can say for certain what will happen when Tyson throws that first punch. Backstage, the energy is thick with tension. WWE officials know they have something unprecedented on their hands. This isn't just a spectacle, it's a moment that could redefine the boundaries of sports entertainment. Wrestlers who have shared the ring with Rousey watch from the monitors, knowing firsthand the intensity she brings. Boxing legends tune in, some skeptical, others intrigued. Could Rousey, known for her submissions and throws, find a way to neutralize one of the most dangerous punchers in history? Or would Tyson remind the world why his name is synonymous with knockout power? Then, something shifts. Tyson's stance tightens, his right hand twitches ever so slightly. It's a signal, one that only those who have studied him for years would recognize. It's coming. The first strike. The kind that has ended fights in seconds. The crowd senses it too, a collective gasp filling the air. Rousey sees it, but seeing and reacting are two different things. Her body tenses, her reflexes primed, but can she move fast enough? Everything is about to explode in a fraction of a second. And in that moment, time seems to freeze. Tyson's fist rockets forward, a blur of raw power cutting through the air. The arena seems to shrink in that instant, the entire world narrowing to the space between his glove and Rousey's head. Every muscle in her body tenses, instincts screaming at her to move. She doesn't need to block. There's no stopping a punch like that. Her only option is to evade, and she knows it. With a split-second pivot, she twists to the side, feeling the wind of Tyson's strike as it barely misses. The crowd erupts, some in shock, others in relief. Rousey had dodged the first bullet, but the war had only begun. Tyson doesn't pause. His footwork, even now, is sharp, honed by years of experience. He pivots with her, cutting off her escape, already lining up the next shot. Rousey knows she's in his world now. Striking range. If she lets him dictate the pace, it's over. So she does the unthinkable. She lunges forward, closing the distance between them before he can fully reset. It's a gamble, but one she has to take. If she stays outside, she's just a target. Inside, she has a chance. The moment her body makes contact, the crowd gasps. She's too close for him to throw another full power punch. Her arms lock around his midsection, her grip tight as she forces the fight into her domain. The clinch. The very thing that made her an unstoppable force in judo and MMA. Tyson grunts, caught off guard, but he's no stranger to close-range combat. He tenses, attempting to muscle her off, but this is where Rousey thrives. The grip tightens, and then she moves. A hip toss, perfectly executed, aimed at sending Tyson crashing to the mat. But Tyson doesn't fall. A moment of disbelief washes over the arena as he plants his feet, stopping the throw mid-motion. His sheer power alone is keeping him upright, resisting a move that has sent world-class fighters flying. The struggle lasts only a second, but it's enough. He shifts his weight, using his own leverage to wrench free from her grasp. A lesser opponent would have been thrown effortlessly, but Tyson isn't just any opponent. He staggers back a step, eyes narrowing. For the first time in the fight, something flashes across his face: respect. Rousey knows she was close. Inches away from slamming Tyson onto the mat, from turning the tide. But inches don't win fights. She resets, ready to engage again, but something feels different. Tyson isn't charging in. He's watching her now, assessing. This isn't just brute strength anymore. This is two fighters trying to outthink each other. And that's when it happens. The unexpected twist that no one saw coming. A voice echoes from the entrance ramp, cutting through the noise of the crowd. The moment it's heard, everything shifts. The audience's cheers turn to confused murmurs. The referee glances toward the stage, momentarily distracted. Even Tyson's head tilts slightly, his focus momentarily broken. Rousey, breathing heavily, turns just enough to see what everyone else is seeing. A figure is standing at the top of the ramp, someone neither of them expected to see here tonight. And the moment they step forward, it becomes clear this fight just got a whole lot more complicated. A heavy silence blankets the arena as all eyes lock onto the figure standing at the top of the ramp. The tension in the air shifts from raw anticipation to sheer confusion. Tyson's stance loosens slightly, his gaze fixed on the intruder. Rousey, still catching her breath, narrows her eyes, trying to make sense of what's happening. This was supposed to be a battle between two legends, a clash of styles and legacies, but now something or someone has changed the game. The figure steps forward, the bright lights finally revealing their face. The crowd erupts in a mixture of shock and excitement. It's none other than Paul Heyman. His presence alone adds an entirely new layer of unpredictability. A longtime mastermind in the world of wrestling, a man known for orchestrating the most shocking moments in WWE history. Heyman rarely appears without a plan. He smirks, microphone in hand, his voice slicing through the stunned arena. Ladies and gentlemen, this match is over. The audience explodes into boos, disbelief spreading through the crowd like wildfire. Tyson shakes his head, already moving toward the ropes, demanding an explanation. Rousey, still in fight mode, clenches her fists, refusing to let the moment slip away. Heyman, ever the puppet master, raises a hand to silence the uproar, his smirk widening. "You didn't think I would let this end without my involvement, did you?" He continues, pacing along the ramp. This wasn't just about two fighters testing themselves. This was about control. And the real question isn't who wins tonight, it's who truly runs this business. The words hang in the air, and then the realization sets in. This wasn't just a match. It was a setup. A game bigger than either Tyson or Rousey had anticipated. Before they can react, the lights in the arena flicker, then cut out completely. A split second of pure darkness, followed by the unmistakable sound of footsteps inside the ring. When the lights return, the entire arena gasps. Standing between Tyson and Rousey is Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate. The man Heyman has guided to world championships, a combat sports juggernaut in his own right. Lesnar's presence alone sends an immediate message: this isn't over. This isn't just a battle between two icons. This is a war that just got bigger. Tyson's jaw clenches. He's fought monsters before, but Lesnar is something different. Younger, stronger, and with a history of domination in both MMA and WWI, he's a wild card that changes everything. Rousey, despite her own history with Lesnar's manager, doesn't flinch. She's not backing down. If anything, the fire in her eyes burns even brighter. Lesnar takes a slow step forward, a smirk creeping across his face. The crowd is on the edge of their seats, waiting for the first punch, the first move, the explosion of chaos that seems inevitable. But then, something even more unexpected happens. Tyson and Rousey exchange a glance. Just for a second, a silent understanding passes between them. This fight might have been about proving who's the best, but there's something neither of them can ignore: a bigger threat standing right in front of them. The crowd senses it before it even happens. The energy shifts once more. Tyson squares his shoulders, his fists tightening. Rousey lowers into a fighting stance, her muscles tensed. Lesnar, realizing what's happening, lets out a low chuckle, shaking his head. Heyman's smug expression falters just slightly, the first crack in his confidence. And then it happens. Tyson throws the first punch, not at Rousey, but at Lesnar. The impact echoes through the arena like a shotgun blast, sending Lesnar staggering backward. Before he can recover, Rousey explodes into action, driving forward with a perfectly executed takedown attempt. The audience erupts into chaos as fists fly, bodies collide, and suddenly, this isn't just about Tyson vs. Rousey anymore. Security floods the ring, officials scrambling to regain control, but the damage is already done. This night, this match, was supposed to be about two legends going head-to-head. Instead, it became something much bigger, an all-out war that left everyone questioning what would happen next. As the dust settles, Tyson stands in one corner, blood on his lip but fire still in his eyes. Rousey breathes heavily, hands on her knees, staring across the ring at Lesnar, who, despite the assault, is grinning like a man who just found his next fight. And Heyman, watching it all unfold from the ramp, simply smirks. This wasn't the end. Not even close. This was only the beginning.